final thing that you want to do once you have your great topic that is centered around a problem statement that your audience is experiencing, and you've kind of identified the concepts that you're going to cover, and you've added some stories. You want to dramatize your blog content or motivational speeches with analogies, with metaphors. Um, Dudley Malone said that one good analogy is worth 3 hours of discussion. I couldn't agree more. A good analogy can clarify so much, especially if you are doing technical presentations or content heavy presentations. There's a website, betterexplain.com, and there was an article on that about analogies. And basically what they said was analogies are handles to grasp a larger, more slippery idea. He said they're a raft to cross a river and can be abandoned once on the other side. Empathetic experts think of the raft as useless since they no longer use it, or perhaps they were just such marvelous swimmers that they never needed it, right? So basically what the writer of that article was doing was, was using analogies as a way to explain what analogies can do for speakers. By the way, I don't ever get that poetic in my speeches. Typically the slippery handle thing, once I kind of got to that, I just stopped. That's just me personally, because that it creates a visual image that people can identify with. And as a result, it kind of sticks with you. We often think of our speeches or blog posts or presentations as just a long series of related ideas. And when we think this way, though, we miss that the best communication is that which makes a connection with us. The reason that analogies and metaphors work so well is that these literary devices help our brains make a connection between the new information that's being presented and something from our past that is more familiar. So I'll give you a couple of analogies, and we've got a whole session on analogies, but I'll give you a few of them that are kind of memorable anyway. A guy named William Paley, he was one of the attorneys in the Scopes trial, the evolution versus creationism trial in the federal courts. And he said that anyone finding a pocket watch in a field will recognize that it was designed intelligently. He said that living beings are similarly complex, so they must be the work of an intelligent designer. So basically, he said, if you go and you find a pocket watch in the forest, it's real easy. It's obvious for somebody that picks that up to say, "Ooh, there was something that created this. Didn't just show up this way." And he was saying that human beings, life is even more complex than a pocket watch. E.B. White, the writer of children's books, she said that explaining a joke is like dissecting a frog. You understand it better, but the frog dies in the process. So, a lot of times you can use these metaphors and analogies and things like that to kind of explain things. One that was that was kind of funny is about telegraphs back in the 1800s. It says, you see, wire telegraph is kind of like a very, very, very long cat. You pull its tail in New York and his head is meowing in Los Angeles. And then he would say, do you understand this? And the radio operates the exact same way. You send signals here and they're received there. The only difference is that there's no cat. Right? That was Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein being funny, right? So trying to explain what the radio waves were to folks. The nice thing about analogies is that you can use them as a way to add a little humor to your presentation. If you use them effectively, you'll make an emotional connection with your audience. People go, "Oh," and when you get that experience or when you get that feeling, that's where you really capture the attention of the audience. I've got a few of these just because I'm kind of going long, but there are a few of these. If you're really interested in the analogies and stuff like that, I'm going to put a few more of these in show notes. These are some memorable ones that our class members from Fearless Presentations have come up with. Some of them are really, really funny. There's one where a crane operator was he was talking about safety and how the flagman was telling a person to stop and the person wouldn't stop, and he was describing it like Yosemite Sam. So I put the Yosemite Sam video on the show notes. So if you want to view any of those kind of things, just go to fearlesspresentations.com, look for the show notes. Hopefully if you use the the step-by-step process that I've just kind of outlined to create your blogs and your motivational speeches, you're just going to have a phenomenal success. You know, if you design if you start by determining what your audience really wants, then look for experts to back up those ideas, add some real life stories and examples, and then finally sprinkle in some analogies to dramatize your content. You do this and you're going to have an unlimited supply of content for your blog, for your presentations, for videos, for motivational speeches. You'll have an unlimited amount. So go ahead and use the content.